Hi guys, it's Tara and welcome back to Crafting with Curly Cues. Today I am sharing a really fun Mint Owl Studio project using the brand new stamp set Sloth Hang Out that was part of the October release. So I'm going to be showing you how to take a stamped image and kind of alter it to make something new and fun for your card. So I'm starting with a card base from some tropical teal cardstock from My Favorite Things, and then I have this really fun pattern paper pad that coordinates really well. And I did some die cutting ahead of time, just so that I didn't bore you all with that on camera. And I cut out using using a Lawn Fawn Stitch rectangle die, some of that pattern paper. And now I'm going to go ahead and take this kind of scattered dots, really subtle background stamp, and just use some Versamark ink to create a watermark effect on the card base, just to give it just a little bit more interest. So I also cut out one of those stitched square frames to go on the inside there, and then just with some plain old Nina 110 pound solar white cardstock, I cut out this really sweet hello a few different times, and the reason that I cut it out multiple times is so that I could stack them all up and make a really nice thick sturdy die cut there, which I'm actually going to completely booger up later and then show you how I fix. So lots of fun stuff going on here. So I also decided that I wanted to tone that pattern down just a little bit, so I took a slightly smaller stitched rectangle die and cut out some vellum to be part of my card design. Now here I will completely apologize to you guys. I didn't realize that my camera had stopped filming while I was doing the Copic coloring. So unfortunately, I didn't get any of that on film, but it's really simple Copic coloring. This little sloth is really easy to color. He's so adorable. Like, I just love his little sweet face. And the stamped image, as you can see, comes with him on this tree branch. So rather than use the tree branch, I am cutting out just the sloth. And then I'm also going to cut out his sweet little itty bitty paws that are on the other side of the tree branch. And I am going to make him hanging from the frame on my card. So rather than focus on the coloring, I'm kind of going to show you more the layout and design of this project, to kind of show you how I took this image and took it away from the original image and created something new with it. So since he is fussy cut out right to the line, I'm using my black soot distress marker, and I'm going to line the edges with that black marker, and that makes it look like this was cut out perfectly and you can't see any of the white, which might give the impression of a flaw. I say the impression because we all know that we're all perfect cutters, right? There's actually no flaws. It just looks like it. So that's like one of my favorite tricks. So now I am going to go ahead and glue my sloth right onto that frame, and I'm going to tuck those little legs behind and then put the ones in front so it looks just like he did with the tree branch. And what really seals it and makes it look perfect is the addition of those little paws that look like they're coming over from the back end of that frame. I think he looks so sweet, and he's literally just hanging out on my card design, which is so much fun. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys how you don't necessarily have to use your stamps the way that they come. Like you can take sentiments and you can cut them up, and I promise, even though you hear your stamp scream on the inside, they are perfectly fine. You can pop them back together. You can take images like this and stamp them whole and then cut out bits and pieces to create the scene that you want. So don't limit yourself when you get a stamp set to exactly what's there. It's obviously a great starting point, and all those stamp artists are phenomenal and they're beautiful images, but there's lots of different possibilities that you can do with these images. So just a super fun way to use this adorable little sloth. So I am going to pop this frame with the little sloth up on the vellum, and I'm putting him on the vellum first so that then I know where I can apply some adhesive on the back of the vellum, knowing that the frame and the sloth are going to cover it up and I won't get any funky vellum showing through there. And I'm just going to put that right in the middle, and then that little hello is going to go right on the top of that frame. So you can see the vellum just kind of tones down that bright pattern just a little bit. I love this pattern paper. The colors are absolutely beautiful. So here's where I'm going to kind of booger up my hello. So I wanted this little let's hang out on the front. So it says hello, let's hang out, which I think is super cute with the little sloth hanging there. Adorable. And the let's hang out is from the Sloth Hang Out stamp set. Well, I wasn't paying attention and I had some ink on my acrylic block and it got all over my hello. So my solution for that, rather than having a black smudgy hello, is that I just ran that die one more time through my Big Shot and I cut another one out, and I'm just going to layer it right on the top. So you can put as many of these together as you want to create your kind of solid chipboard sentiment when you're using these die cut sentiments like this. And 3 is usually what I use, but I was like, you know what? I can throw 4 on there. That's totally fine. And it covered up my little goober, so it was like the perfect solution. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that right on top of that frame. If I hadn't centered it so much, I probably would have put little itty bitty wee pieces of foam tape on the back, but since I kind of centered it right on that popped up frame, I thought that it was plenty sturdy once it got on there. So then to finish up this card and give it just a little bit of pizzazz, I busted out my Pretty Pink Posh sparkling clear sequins, and I have used some 10mm, 6mm, and 4mm on this card, and I'm using my micro glue dots to adhere those. I love micro glue dots for sequins. It's pretty much the only way that I adhere sequins because it fits perfectly right on the back of the sequin, and you don't get any like glue gushing out or anything like that. So I just scattered those kind of down around the sentiment just to add a little something to this card. And then I'm going to take my black glazed Jelly Roll pen and I'm going to go over his little nose and his sweet little eyes. And then once the black glazed pen dried, I took a white gel pen and put the little whites back on his eyes that were in the original stamp image. So there is a close-up of my sweet little sloth hanging from the top of my frame there. And you can see how that layout is just nice and simple, but the kind of the sloth and that altered stamp makes it just really pop. So thank you guys so much for watching. Here are a couple more projects featuring amazing Mint Owl Studio stamps. You can join me on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, and don't forget to check out the description box below for links to all the supplies as well as to Mint Owl Studio. Thank you guys so much. Bye.